What's up, ladies? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. So I have a story here that can be very educational to many of you women. And this is something I have taught you over and over again. Never give your address to strangers on the internet. Okay? You got to vet these men first. And this is a story, this is a sad story, but it does have a decent ending. She did get away, and this actual dangerous monster is in jail. You have to understand where you got to look at these angry men. Let's be clear, this is not anybody, these are not traditional people. She's not a traditional woman, and he's definitely not a traditional man. But you have to understand that, you know, the men in the Manosphere, these men are very, and the red pill Manosphere, these men are very angry, they're vindictive, and they're dangerous to women. They hate us. And you have to steer clear of these crazy people. And I told you that you have to vet. I will leave a link in the description box below on how to vet these modern men so they don't trick you to pretend that they're traditional. But it doesn't even matter if you have a legitimate traditional man or not. Never give them your address. Never let them know where you live. If they ask you on a date, or if you're going on a date, you meet them at the restaurant, or you meet them at the coffee shop, or you meet them wherever, but you make sure you meet them in a public space. And you listen, ladies, I need you to understand this. You just don't get in a car with someone. Now, I do tell women that, like, if you go on several dates afterwards, you're gonna need to know that license plate number. You're gonna have to know their legal name. But if you don't know their legal name, if you know the make and model of their car and the license plate number, if something happens to you, then basically you can give that information to your friend or family member before you go on a date. And if you don't check in at a certain time, then, you know, they call the police. Now, we used to do a buddy system when I was younger, where I would go and meet someone on a date, and I would have my girlfriends call me at a particular time during the day. So let's say, for instance, we meet at 8 o'clock, okay? And they call me at either 8:20 or 8:30. And I'll say something like, pancakes if it's a real good thing, if it's going well. And then they ask me, okay, if it's going well, what time do you think it'll be over? And I will tell the time, the actual time, over on the phone. If it's not going well, I'll say I don't know, let me see, let's say pickles. I'll say something like sour pickles. And then they'll call me back and try to get me out of the day. We used to have a plan like that. But either way, there was a time where I had to report back to make sure everything was okay. But it was me meeting them at a public place. Never meet them at their place. Never go to an undisclosed location where it's not around public, not around people. And always meet them at a public place, and never ever give these people, these dangerous men, your address. So let's look at here. This guy, I'm going to tell you the story ahead of time, but we're going to watch the video in a minute. So let me just go ahead to the video section right here. So we're going to watch the video in a minute. So what happened was, this young lady right here, she went on a date with this creepy, woman-hating man, more likely from the Manosphere, you know what I'm saying, who's just tried to just dominate her and just kidnapped her, just took her and just kept her captive for 3 weeks. Now he's in jail, and I hope he stays there for a very, very long time. But he just showed up out of the blue demanding a second date, and she just went on along with it. Now, like I said, these are modern women. She's pretty young, so she just doesn't know any better, but you have to learn from other people's mistakes. So let's go ahead and watch the news coverage of this, and you'll get a chance to know more details about the situation.
This Michigan woman says a man she met on a dating app held her against her will for 3 weeks.
Pretty frightening story. And tonight, the Van Buren County man is facing 3 felony charges as a result. Tonight, News Channel 3's Mike Kravsik is live in Van Buren County to tell us, Mike, what the woman says really happened to her.
Yeah, Andy, Kayla McCleary says that she was waiting to be picked up on her second date by a guy by the name of Trevor Double, and then she didn't return home for another month. Detectives say she's lucky to be alive. We do want to warn
Yeah,
some of
she
the
is
images
lucky.
you may see might be disturbing to some. A dating app connected 24-year-old Kyla McCleary to Trevor Double. McCleary says she talked to Double for weeks before their first date.
It went fine the first time, so I didn't think anything of it when he asked.
First of all, it doesn't matter if it went fine. You never, ever, ever give a man your address. Never do that. By the way, she's a single mother. She's a single mother, and you have to protect your child. If you, ladies, if you're single mothers out there, you never give these crazy men, or let's say, for instance, if you don't know if he's crazy, you have to operate on the side of caution, just in case. Think of your child, if not yourself. But she went through a lot of problems. And by the way, he gave her a fake name, which is understandable. I think you should do, I think if you do names, I think you should do like a real first name and a fake last name if you want to. But he gave a fake name. So therefore, she didn't even know how to contact him. I mean, she didn't even know how to report his real name. It's luckily that he's been arrested for doing something like this before to other women. So ladies, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Asked me to go to breakfast with him.
She tells me the 45-year-old showed up at her Battle Creek home unannounced for their second date.
I honestly don't know what his intention was.
For the next 3 weeks, investigators say Double held McCleary against her will at his Bloomingdale area home. Investigators say Double threatened to kill her and beat her on and off.
I was laying on the edge of his bed with my feet up, trying to block my face, and he was whacking me in the legs with it.
Police say at one point Double used a hatchet like a paddle to beat McCleary.
I remember a few times standing there when he was asleep and just questioning, like, should I run outside and try to get away? Like, what should I do?
McCleary says she was too scared to leave after trying to escape by jumping out of a moving vehicle.
I got scars from road rash all up my back from jumping out of a moving vehicle.
Then she tells me Double took her to the hospital.
I had 17 stitches in total.
There, police say she told hospital staff her life was in danger.
I told the doctor that I was like, please do not let me leave with him. I was like, I really think he's going to kill me.
Investigators say police tracked down Double at a Kalamazoo area hotel weeks later. Van Buren County prosecutors charged him with assault with intent to cause bodily damage and assault with a weapon.
I haven't been home since I left going to breakfast that one day. This whole thing has just been horrific.
Court records show Double was convicted of a 2004 manslaughter. He served about 9 years in prison. And according to police documents, Double was out on bond when he was accused of the assault. And he also had a personal protection order against someone unrelated to this case. Double is due back in court here in Van Buren County next week.
So this man has a restraining order on him already from another woman. Ladies, please, I am begging you, be careful. Be careful. Now, of course, those of you who are traditional women, you went through all my videos, you know, you got to do the vetting. I will leave the link to the video on how to vet men to make sure you don't get these crazies, you know, around you. But there's a lot of do's and don'ts even before you even get to the vetting process. One is you never, ever, ever tell them where you live. Don't even tell them where you work. A lot of times, ladies, you guys get on here and ladies just get on here and you start talking. Never tell him where you work at. Never tell him if you're going to school, you never tell a man what school you're going to. And you never tell him your full real name. Okay? It's okay if you tell him the first name or your first real name, but after that, that's it. Okay, and I would not get into the personal thing of like, well, here's my Facebook, this, that, and the other, especially if your family is connected to your Facebook. Just keep things separate. But most of all, understand that this man, when he met her, he never told her his real first name or last name. He gave her fake name, fake everything, fake age, fake everything. And so we see what happened. And if somebody is crazy enough to show up on your doorsteps the following morning talking about something, hey, let's go out for a second date, and you're like, sure? Come on, ladies, don't do that. We got to use our heads here. We got to use our heads here. I need you ladies to start thinking. But we understand that many of you would never do anything crazy like that. But I got a lot of young ladies looking at my channel. So I want to make sure that you all understand what you must do and what you must not do. And learn from this mistakes. I'm so happy that nothing horrific happened to her. I'm glad she's alive, but let's make sure this does not happen to anybody else. This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you're female, make sure you subscribe, and I will talk to you all next time. Later, taters.